What's the deal, everyone? Welcome back to the office. I'm Jeremy Dio, and today we're going to dive into one of the newest features offered by AutoReel, virtual Twilight conversions. I know, you've seen me mention them in the past videos, usually talking about their photo to video conversions because that's what I personally use as my platform for my company, but they've recently started using their AI to jump into some really cool other useful features for us creators in the real estate industry. What I like about these features right now, as long as you're a paying member of the platform, there's no additional cost to use these. I've done a lot of messing around for personal curiosity and then for client deliveries, and I have yet to incur an additional dollar on my bill because of it. So let's pretend you've never been on the site before. The first thing you're going to do is actually click the link below and sign up to get yourself a discount on this trial process while also helping support this channel in that process. All right, now that you've signed up on the computer, this is what your main login is going to look like. Over on the left-hand side, you'll be able to see all the jobs you've already done. Right here in front of you, you'll be able to see the job you're working on. Now, I have not done any video with these Twilight testings, but I have done some imagery. Now, these are all for a video I'm working on in the future where I'm going to be comparing everything from AutoReel to Artlist and a whole bunch of other places. So if you're interested, make sure you keep around for that. But what I'm going to do is show you how to start this from scratch. Let's just pretend you can create a new project. You can call it what you want. I'm just going to keep running off of this folder because unlike other things, once you create something, it doesn't lock you off from loading things into it into the future. And since these are all free, that doesn't matter anyway. So I'm just going to keep running on this. As you can see, you go to my AI adjustments tab. This is actually where I've done the majority of testing. So look at the images here. You can see there are just so many Twilight conversions, interior dusk conversions. I'm working on a lot of cool things to show y'all, but either way, I digress. Let's get straight into the actual bulk of the job here. Now, the first thing we're gonna do is just take some image. Let's pick this one. And the first thing you'll notice right here as I'm dragging it on, up to 10 megs each. Now, if you're using Fotello like I am to edit all these, when you do an MLS export, typically these are all under 10 megs, so you shouldn't have a problem or have to reduce size. But keep in mind, if your file is over 10 megs, you will have to drop the size in something like Photoshop or Lightroom before you get into it. All right, so it's uploading right now. As soon as it's uploaded, it will appear at the very bottom of the list. I've got really slow internet right now, so it's taking a while apparently to upload this 10 megs. All right, here we go. Now let's get straight into it. The very first thing you're gonna do, which is unique to this program in my opinion, so I've noticed so far, you're gonna analyze it. And this is gonna take the AI and kind of register the frame. See what's the ground, what's the house, what's the sky, the relation between all of them. It's very unique. And also, I've switched mics here. My Blue Yeti went out, started making some crazy crackling noises. So now I'm using the Insta360 Mic Air attached to my computer. So please let me know in the comments down below if you hate the way this sounds or if it sounds better. I'm just trying to figure it out and just trying to get this video actually made for you. All right, a few things you can look at here. We've got lawn, which will do things like fix the grass, but this is a very unique property and I'm not gonna use that. And that's not what this tutorial is about. We're going straight for sky. So what I like about this is you can start easy, work your way up. Very first thing we're gonna do is hit this Twilight button, which will convert it, but it won't convert instantly. You gotta come down here and press the edit image button before it actually starts. And you'll see your little whirly gig right here. And it is now turning this into a Twilight conversion. So let's just see what this looks like as soon as it pops up, and they'll both pop up down here on the bottom of the screen. There we go. So this is what it made from this to this. In my opinion, very good looking sky, very natural looking. It's still nice and bright without being super dark. A lot of these programs will make these images very dark to mock that Twilight kind of feel. So what I'm gonna do actually, I'm gonna open up my Word document that I have over here that has a whole bunch of random prompts. But before we do this, we're gonna test another one. Now I already said you can work off of images. We're gonna get to that in just a minute. What we're gonna do first is actually test the sunset look. So I'm gonna go back to this initial image because whatever image you have selected is the one it's gonna be working off of. And I wanted to work off this initial image just so I can show you what the actual sunset conversion looks like. So as that's working up, I'm looking over here to my other ones and let's find, here we go. Let's say, now an issue you might have with, first of all, look at that, very beautiful, beautiful image. looks very pretty, nice color tones, very easy to do in such a short amount of time. Let's go back to this Twilight image, right? Let's say you're working with one of the agents who hire me most often, and they don't want a Twilight that looks natural and nice. What they want is a Twilight that looks overbearing, extremely saturated, because they want something that will stop people from scrolling, and typically something a little overdone will do that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna select this Twilight image, and down here you can do custom edits, which means we can continue on from this image we've already built. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste in here a prompt that I have made that's going to turn this into more of a darker, moody image with a little bit more pink and purple in the sky. So let's just see how that works out with this prompt. Boom, there we go. We made it a little bit darker just with a little prompt. Look, from that to that. Now, some people like this, some people don't. It just depends on your mood. The greatest part is that you can keep rocking and rolling and do whatever you want. Like, let's say this sunset one. Let's say you really like this one, but you wish the interior lights were on. That's a simple fix too. Boom, just like that. We'll press the edit button, wait a moment, and theoretically all of these interior lights will cut on with the same image in front of us, which is super nice. There we go, and just like that, we went from that to that. So we started with this, first we created this, then we made it darker like this. Or, first we started with this, then we created this, then we turned on the lights with this. But what if you didn't want to use any of these generic ones? What if you just wanted to make your own prompt? Like, let's say you wanted it, let's see what I got over here. Here we go, I've got a spring bloom prompt over here that I made. Let's check this one out. Starting from the original image again, just to see what the rest of the image will look like when I throw this on here. I'm trying to make it look like spring is in bloom in this image. So let's see how that turns out. Looky there, it didn't make it a Twilight at all. It just made some nice spring flowers blooming around the yard. It took this dead tree and put some spring on it. It fixed the grass over here. Like, look at these sweet little adjustments it made all over the property. Now, let's take this and create a Twilight of it, because why not, right? Let's do a, here we go. I've got my own sunrise prompt. So working off of this image with spring now, let's turn this into a sunrise prompt that isn't using theirs and see what it turns out like. Now here, right here, you can see my entire prompt while this is working. What I have noticed is using your own custom prompts. Look how pretty that looks. Now, once again, from this to this. Very pretty, and there's no editors here. I'm making all of these choices. I'm making the decisions, what the sky looks like, the color tones. I'm the one choosing to make it look spring in here. I get to choose everything, which is extremely unique. And like I said, just the way this has the ability to auto Twilight or create your own custom scenes is pretty unique from everything I'm testing it against so far. I mentioned it briefly, but if you're interested, I'm working on a video now comparing a few of the most popular applications for doing these Twilight conversions, including Adobe's Nano Banana, Artlist, and my daily editing platform, Fotello. Just to name a few, but either way, make sure to follow the channel if you're interested in those results. And I also have a video coming out comparing all the sites for virtual staging as well, since that is another new feature here on AutoReel. So if you want to see that too, just comment down below so I know to kind of push it up in the schedule, for lack of a better term. All right, if you're interested in anything I talked about in today's video, I have the links for those also down below. And it's the easiest way you can support this channel's growth other than just the obvious ways here on YouTube's platform. All right, thanks for watching. I appreciate your time, and I really hope you got something informational or something you were looking for out of this video. I'm Jeremy Deal, and I'll catch you next time.